thanks. Like, hey, Scoob, did you hear Nikki Blake is hosting a Scooby-Doo panel? No. Yeah. Like on today's Scooby-Doo episode, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy meet Nikki Blake. Yeah, and a Scooby Panel. Like, we need to get this puppy started. Okay, Nikki Blake, take it away, Scooby-Doo.
Welcome to the Scooby Panel. I'm your host, Nikki Blake from ScoobyAddicts.com, and today we are talking about the Scooby-Doo LEGO sets. Before we begin, I'll have everyone introduce themselves, and Wendy, will start with you.
Hi guys, I'm Wendy BRYDGE. I'm a commissioned artist and I've been collecting Scooby for over 30 years.
Devin.
Hi, I'm Devin, and this is not a Lego, but this is a Lego.
Yay! It's a good thing you changed the hat because we did give you a lot of crap when you
They
came
gave me a
on.
lot. Yeah, they were talking mad smack beforehand, just so everyone knows. They were like, that's not Lego. And it's like, yeah, I got a surprise for you. All right.
Hey, later we're going to talk about how you have so many of these hats, though.
Sure, fair.
Hey
there, I'm Joel from the YouTube channel Planet Scooby.
Excellent. So we are talking about the Scooby-Doo LEGO sets, and I'm going to read about all of the sets, and then we're going to talk about the sets in general. So the Scooby LEGO sets were first introduced August 1st of 2015. There were 5 core LEGO sets that were released. The Mummy Museum Mystery Set was number 75900. The set consisted of 110 pieces with 3 minifigures, Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, and the Mummy. An opening golden sarcophagus with brick-built hamburger and chain, secret compartment in the stairs containing 3 gems, spotlight-style elements, and a secret file tile with mystery clues. The Mystery Plane Adventures set was number 75901. The set consisted of 128 pieces with 3 minifigures, Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, and the Headless Horseman. The set included a cockpit for Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, Headless Horseman's sword, a horse, hamburger drop function, 2 brick-built hamburger bombs, a chain with a handle, rotating propeller, and landing wheels. The Mystery Machine set, number 75902, consisted of 301 pieces with 4 minifigures, Fred, Shaggy, Zombie, and Scooby-Doo. The Mystery Machine included a driver's cabin with steering wheel and space for 2 minifigures, removable roof and fold-out sides for easy play, a stove, a sink, and a spigot, and assorted accessory elements including a spyglass, camera, torch, tape recorder, 2 computer screens, special brick with a mystery clue, gem, mug, and a giant sandwich. It also included a spooky tree with adjustable branches and hidden gem. The Haunted Lighthouse set, number 75903, consisted of 437 pieces with 5 minifigures, Shaggy, Daphne, Lighthouse Keeper, Swamp Monster, and Scooby-Doo. The Haunted Lighthouse features a lighthouse tower with balcony, translucent orange flame elements, and secret compartment with a golden key. A prison with opening door, kitchen with oven, a pan, cheese, a rat. Light pole, secret compartment with a map clue beneath movable planks, secret compartment with a treasure chest containing 2 gems and a silver-colored cup, wheel-operated opening skull cave with a crate inside containing a crowbar, air tank and flippers, trident, a keep out sign, and seaweed. The speedboat features a widescreen steering wheel, paddle, engine with rotating propeller, and water skis with attachment line. The Mystery Mansion set, number 75904, consisted of 860 pieces with 7 minifigures, Shaggy, Velma, Daphne, the Vampire, Ghost, Black Knight, and Scooby-Doo. The Mystery Mansion features a clock tower with midnight spinning wall function, a roof with vampire coffin, a conservatory with broken windows, a man-eating plant with the snapping mouth, and 2 pumpkin heads. a kitchen with cupboards, a sink, a pot, and a giant buildable hamburger, a brick-built Morning Star pendulum trap, an opening safe with 3 golden bars, a hidden compartment with a golden key, a special brick with a mystery clue, a pot, a skull minifigure head, a rat, and a bat. The motorbike features a sidecar. There's a ghost ball and chain and the Black Knight's double axe, and accessories include Scooby-Doo's bone, Shaggy's sausage, Shaggy's backpack, Velma's camera, the vampire's cape and bat, and the ghost's glow-in-the-dark cape. There was a limited edition Scooby-Doo that was just Scooby in a poly bag that was part of the DVD set for Scooby-Doo Haunted Hollywood, and that was set number 30601. There was the set that came with the LEGO Dimensions video game. It was the Scooby-Doo Team Pack set 71206. It was released September 27th, 2015. It was part of Wave 1 of the game's lineup and included a minifigure of Scooby-Doo, one of Shaggy, and buildable models of the Mystery Machine and a Scooby Snack. And by placing them on the toy pad, you could unlock Scooby-Doo and play in the game. There was a mini Mystery Machine from the LEGO Scooby-Doo Mystery Tour to promote the LEGO sets. It included the instructions and the pieces for the Mystery Machine. It was 1 3/4 inches wide, 1 1/4 inches tall, and it was 28 pieces. And Joel had mentioned, he sent us a video of the Mystery Builder Campaign Influencer Kit, which included all of the LEGO sets, the promotional literature, foam core props that were relating to the gang, like Velma's glasses and Fred's ascot. And the box was totally cool. I loved it. One thing that I just want to mention, but we're not going to talk about, is there were 16 LEGO shorts. There was a movie, LEGO Scooby-Doo Nighttime Terror in 2015, the LEGO Scooby-Doo Haunted Hollywood film in 2016, and the LEGO Scooby-Doo Blowout Beach Bash in 2017. So now that
Did you guys get all that, or
a lot, we are going to talk just in general about the sets. So what are your general thoughts on the sets, Wendy?
Okay, first, unpopular opinion. I'm so sorry. I don't like Legos. I have never liked Lego. I grew up with Lincoln Logs. Building little log houses and little log shacks and, you know, stuff like that. That was my thing. So I do recall having like this like clear canister. It was about that big and it was filled with like pink and purple and white Lego. And I do recall playing with it quite a bit, but I like the aspect of putting it together, but I don't like how it looks. The same as like today, the rage is like, oh, I want a figure that is like massively articulated. I hate articulated figures because those like the breaks at the joints visually for me are very unappealing, and I don't care for it. I would rather a statue or a doll that has no movement at all, but like everything is very smooth and it looks the way it should look. So I think that's my issue with the Legos, is they're the opposite of that. It's like articulation out the wazoo. And so visually, I'm not really into it. I like building things, but like not that much. So I appreciate that as a toy, Lego is probably like very mentally stimulating for kids, adults, whoever, you know, it's good for a lot of things, I'm sure, but I don't care for it. So I'm not super impressed with any of these sets. However, I, of course, did want one of the sets, the airplane, Headless Horseman of Halloween, Scooby-Doo show. Just the fact that they did something that was episode specific, but it wasn't like your typical run of the mill, like Where Are You, Creeper, Black Knight, Cutler's Ghost. Not that there's anything wrong with those, and those would make fun sets too, but I love that they went. I mean, can I say that this is like a little bit more obscure? Like, it might not be obscure in the Scooby realm, but I do feel like the Scooby-Doo show villains and episodes are just, they're less well known in general populations, general pop culture. So I love that they went with this. It is one of my favorite episodes. I love the guy's creepy little pumpkin head. Like, they really did a nice job with his face. He's pretty cool. It's got a horse, and you can hang it. I mean, immediately I was like, I'm gonna hang that from my little ceiling, and it's gonna look cool. So I do really like this set. I actually pre-ordered this set on Amazon when it first came out back in August of 2015, and I paid $24.86 Canadian for it. And I got like a $10 promotion for spending $40. So it was even a little bit cheaper than that. So I think, you know, at the time, I remember thinking that's like $25 for this. At the time, felt like a lot of money. Today, I'd be like, oh, it doesn't seem like that much. But that was 11 years ago. And inflation since then is a thing. So I still feel like it's a lot. I'm not going to say I enjoyed putting it together. I would be lying if I said that I did. I feel like there was one part of it somewhere that I recall I didn't get it quite right. So I got to the end and I had this little tiny piece left over, and I'm like, but it looks complete. Like, where did you come from? And I ended up having to like take half of it apart just to find, because it went like inside of something. I mean, I don't enjoy that experience. I'm not the target audience for this kind of a thing. You know, I'm really not, which might be weird because I'm artistic, but like, this is less artistic to me, and it's more like engineering. And I'm dumb when it comes to that. So yeah, I'm glad that I got it. It's my favorite one of the set. The Mystery Machine one, I appreciate that they managed to capture the proper shape of the Mystery Machine, because that has always sort of been my issue with any like subsequent newer Scooby iterations, is the shape of the van changes. And to me, it's the shape of the van more than it is even the color palette that sort of makes it, to me, instantly recognizable as like, that's Scooby's van. It's that like rounded front. And so I am quite impressed that they did that in the Lego set. They didn't just do, you know, they didn't choose the shape of like the one from the live action movies, which it's a different shape. You know, it's not that it's bad or anything, but it's not that rounded front. So I like that about the Lego set. The other three, though, guys, they were so disappointing to me. They were just disappointing. I should have loved the mummy one, because I'm all about that. When I was a kid, like I wanted to be an Egyptologist. I love mummies. Like, take me to the museum, show me the dead bodies all wrapped up. You know, it's weird, and I don't feel that way now, but and it just was like, what even is this that you know, there was nothing appealing about it to me. I love the idea of the lighthouse. And yes, there is like a Scooby and Scrappy episode, Lighthouse Scooby. And it's really, really great because they dress up like little octopuses, and we get to hear Don Messick making this crazy sound like, blah, 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 and it's really creepy. But I don't know, a lighthouse, I don't think of Scooby when I think of a lighthouse. So to me, that was like it was a little bit random. And the mansion, biggest disappointment of all. I came very close to buying like a bootleg one of those, which we'll talk about later. I didn't, because it was still a significant amount of money. And I was like, there's nothing recognizable about any of this. And I think that is my biggest issue with these, and maybe why they've not done any more, to be honest. Because if you see like an adult Lego collector, or like you just take a trip down the Lego aisle at Walmart once in a while, where it is, I think we could all agree it is definitely geared towards like either more mature children or adults. Elaborate sets, very expensive, but But the thing is, though, like, think of like the Harry Potter sets or like any of like the ships from different movies. They're like highly detailed and they are recognizable as what they're supposed to be. There's this mansion for the Scooby one. Like, whose mansion is this? It's no one's mansion. It's weird. It's just so generic. And the lighthouse and the Egypt one, I mean, maybe for the Egypt one, if they had done like, I can't think of the professor's name, but in Scooby, where's my mom? I can't even think of the name of it. The Mummy episode and Where Are You Anyway?
Big fan.
Maybe if they had like recreated one of the set pieces from in that would have been cool. But they didn't. It was just a very generic, boring. It was supposed to be like an Egypt scene, but it didn't even read that to me. So I just overall was very, very disappointed. The only good thing about it was that literally I wanted only one of them, so I did not have to spend a ton of money. It was the only good thing. That's it. So yeah, just overall, why were they so boring given what Lego does with everything else? I don't understand.
Devin, your thoughts on the Lego set?
I am the total opposite on Legos in general than Wendy. I love Legos. I was a Lego kid. I had a big, huge, ginormous tub of Legos. I would always build stuff with them. And then in high school, I got like that's when Lego sets, because you got the right guy for this panel, by the way. I got the scoop on Legos, kind of ish. Don't quote me on anything I say. But yeah, in high school is when they kind of started getting like middle school to high school for me is when they started getting a little bit more advanced. Like they're pretty basics. It was like astronauts, cowboys, pirates, stuff like that. And then they got like Star Wars IP and stuff like that. That was a little bit earlier, but like they kind of started there. They started getting more IPs and stuff like that. So once I got into high school, I started like actually trying to like, and also I had like money and stuff like that, like collecting different sets and things like that. I got really into the minifigures mainly because like those are more fun. Like I'm an action figure type of guy. I agree the articulation on action figures is really ugly. But the minifigures I always thought were fun. The sets, I do agree that they're kind of like they look ugly once they're put together. I always enjoyed the building aspect of it. And then like when they're sitting on your shelf, they're a little bit ugly. That's why I kind of like mainly got into the minifigures because those were like easy to set out and display. But yeah, in high school, I got into collecting the minifigures and things like that. And I started making like little stop motion videos with Legos because they were easily posable and things like that. So I kind of started doing that. And that sort of got me into like the miniature realm because I was obsessed with That 70s Show. And I wanted to make my own Lego set. So I made this custom That 70s Show, the basement, Eric Foreman's basement from That 70s Show. I have it literally over there. I'll show you guys later. Nikki, I'll send you a picture. You can put it in or whatever. But I made a custom version of the basement from That 70s Show. Like I painted the bricks with like spray paint and stuff like that because I was like I needed colors or whatever, and like made the characters and like I designed like all their clothes on like Microsoft Paint and stuff and like all this stuff. So like that was my first like actual miniature project, was making this little Lego set. And then like I'm immediately after that is when I kind of started like getting into the miniature world, and now that's what I do full time. For those of you that don't know, I make miniatures full time. It's been like a decade of that or so. But yeah, so Legos were like a big part of my life growing up and like into my career. And ever since I got into miniatures, I kind of fell out of the Lego hobby. Also, like as I grew up, and also they kind of became more expensive. You know, we'll talk about that a little bit later too. But like Lego sets are crazy expensive sometimes, and it's not like a hobby that's like, let me just drop $100 on like a cool set or anything like that. But yeah, so that's kind of my history with Legos. Is I do enjoy Legos. I do agree that most of the time when the sets are put together, they're pretty ugly. That being said, the Scooby-Doo Lego sets, Tasha actually got me when it first came out, the Mystery Machine. That's where Shaggy's from here. She did get me the Mystery Machine we first, like a couple years after we started dating. And that's the only set I have of the Scooby-Doo Legos. I think that's kind of one of the only ones that looks good. I agree the plane looks nice, and I don't mind the lighthouse, because I think when like this like the Mummy one, for example, when it's like a weird flat, you like setting it on the shelf just looks so ugly. But like this mystery machine, it's like a solid object from like 360. So I think that's why it looks better, is because it's like you can set it and look at it at any angle and it looks displayable. But like the mummy piece, it's just like a straight up like half a wall and it just doesn't look right, like sitting out. And it's kind of this, like the lighthouse I think could be displayed nicely. But yeah, the haunted mansion is a bit ugly. I was trying to take a guess to like what it could be based on. And my best guess, it's probably not, but it kind of looks like the layout of Elias Kingston's mansion a little bit. Like it's got the tall tower in the middle and then like a side and then like a shorter side. Like if you look at it from the right angle, it kind of looked like that a little bit. It's way too purple though. The purple of it is like super ugly. If it was a more like washed out or like dull purple, it'd be better. Like it's a haunted mansion. It should look a little worn down and like ugly, but it's like super bright and in your face. And I think that's kind of what makes it like unappealing. But yeah, so they're not bad, but they're not my style necessarily. I like the ones, like I said, the Mystery Machine, where it's more of a solid object. But I think the reason they do that too, like the Mummy one is so bad because it's like the cheapest set, and then like they kind of go up. So like if you're buying something, it's just like a simple little build, and it's like it's whatever. And I know we said we weren't gonna, but guess what? I watched the Scooby-Doo Haunted Hollywood movie today. Okay, I watched it. Never saw it before. I watched it today just to see if there was anything. And almost all of these sets and figures almost are in that movie. The lighthouse, it opens up with like the ending of sorry, spoilers for Scooby-Doo Haunted Hollywood Lego, whatever it's called. It opens up. Do you guys care if I spoil this? You don't care. It's a Lego movie. It's okay. It opens up with them like solve like the end of a mystery, and it's like at a lighthouse. It has the little swamp guy and the little captain or whatever. It's literally that exact set. And then they also have the plane at the end. The mystery machine's in there. The purple mansion is in it at some point. There's like it takes place in Hollywood. It's on a film set, so there's like multiple villains running around. It's a mummy. It's the zombie. It's like basically it's every set is in this movie. And it came out a year after this, right? The movie came out 2016. The sets were like 2015, right? Is that, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was wondering while I was watching it, I was like, did they do this? It could be two reasons. One, to promote the sets, to try to sell them because kids are going to see it and they're like, oh, that's the set from the movie I watched, right? Or probably also because they already just had the like assets for them. And it was probably easier just to like input that into the movie because they already had the sets designed like 3D modeled somewhere on a computer or whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that was just something I noticed watching that movie was interesting that all of the sets were actually in this movie. I don't know about the other ones at the beach one. I think it is. I don't know if that has anything, a lighthouse in it, maybe, who knows? But yeah, they're okay.
Joel, your thoughts on the Lego sets?
Yeah. Where do I begin? Because I had all these thoughts racing in my head. I did buy them all.
Okay.
I didn't want to buy them all. I wanted just all the minifigures, really. But then to get them, you pretty much had to buy the Mystery Machine and the Haunted Mansion. And I was happy when I got them. Like, they are kind of ugly, the mansion, but it's fun to play with. I remember, yeah, I'm not really impressed with the mansion. So it's not like displayed in my house anywhere really bright. It's just off in the corner somewhere. No one's ever walked in my house and seen it really and commented on it, I don't think. Because it's kind of meh. And I think it's meh to me because playing off what Wendy said, it doesn't really represent anything from an episode. It's kind of like a mashup. You get the man-eating plant, which I think is from the one where they're on the way to the rock show and they get out of gas and
Haunted House
I forget
Hang-Up.
what it's called. Haunted House Hang-Up, yeah. And then like Devin mentioned, you got Elias's thing and you get the vampire from the that guy dude, that episode.
Galloping Ghost.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys are the fakest fans today. What is happening?
Well, it's different when you're talking. If you're going what the episode was, I'd get it right away. It's just how it works. Yeah. So And it's kind of nice to walk into like a Toys R Us and pick up something like this. It's nice. It's good packaging. It's hefty when it's got the pieces in it. It's got three big manuals to like put the set together. It was all organized and I had fun putting it together. I didn't mind it. It's an easy build. Had lots of features, but yeah, nothing really screams an episode. Like you get the glow in the dark ghost, you get the Black Knight, you get the vampire, and they're in different episodes, and you get the man-eating plant. Um, there's no Scooby cycle either, I don't think that I can recall. There probably
No.
maybe is. I just don't know. Can't recall one. I wasn't gonna get this, but I got it as a birthday present, and it's great. I was happy to get it. I was excited to get it. And I think it does look nice, but yeah, it doesn't have an episode, but I was happy to get the speedboat because I could recreate the scene where Scooby's water skiing and you have the shark behind him
Mm-hmm.
from the Scooby-Doo show intro. I even have an Instagram post from 2015 or whatever where I did that, where it's got like the Scooby-Doo show and then it's got my version and then it's got like it's three tiers, horizontal tiers, and then it's got Homer Simpson yelling nerd, that meme. So it's just, but I was happy to have that just to recreate that scene. So I was happy to get that. Mystery Machine I bought because I wanted the Fred character because you have to buy Fred. You have to buy the Mystery Machine to get Fred, and you have to buy the Haunted Mansion to get Velma. And I like the tree. I like spooky trees. Big fan of spooky trees. And then I had to get this because this was my favorite. Because it's the show. It's the Scooby-Doo show. The Headless Horseman of Halloween. It's one of my favorite episodes, and it's planes in it, and the Headless Horseman was in it, so it made the most sense, and it was my favorite. And even when he unmasked the dude, it looks like the guy from the show. So, and there's a lot of attention. I think everything's a lot of attention to detail, and I think they mash things up just to give everyone a taste of something, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if they did a wave two, they might have got more specific. So I don't fault them. And they're hitting two markets. They're hitting Scooby fans and Lego fans, which, if you have the Venn diagram, there's not like a huge interaction between the two because who can afford all these hobbies? And then I didn't get the mummy set because I didn't like it, but then I thought later on, oh, I really want it. But they discontinued all these in 2016, so I went to AliExpress and got the Scooby-Doo with the hard K.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I mean, it's pretty, like it's this knockoff stuff. We'll talk about it later. It's decent quality. They use the actual mechanics of it. It's just kind of, I don't know, they can't put Scooby-Doo actually, I guess, on it. And it's like 80% of the quality at 30% of the price. And why not? So yeah, I was happy I got it, but I agree with what both Devin and Wendy say. I'm in between. I did grow up with Lego. My brother's Lego. They didn't have sets. They just had white blocks, red blocks. If I built anything ever in them, they just found it fun to like smash whatever I built because they were much older than me. I did get a set when I was like 10. It was like a space set and I loved it. And right before I moved, I got rid of it. Like I just threw it in the garbage. Which I regret now because it had like the little yellow-faced astronaut dudes, and I'm like, why did I throw that out? But I had to throw out a lot of stuff when I moved. As if you've moved recently, you know what I'm talking about. Just gotta get rid of stuff. It sucks. I'll stop there.
I really like putting Legos together. I just find that it's calming and I like building stuff, so building Legos is a lot of fun. It's more fun when they're Scooby related because, I might be somewhat of a Scooby fan, but little bit. I do agree that the light or the mansion doesn't totally make sense. It should be one of the mansions from a Scooby episode, and it's weird that it's not. The lighthouse makes more sense because there is the lighthouse. There are a bunch of lighthouses in Scooby-Doo. And I feel like they've been using the lighthouse keeper a lot on merchandise where it's like all the original villains and then the lighthouse keeper from What's New, which doesn't make any sense, but he's there. So I do. I think it's fun when you get like these little secret compartments and stuff is hidden in them. You know, I like that they added that into some of the sets. The mummy set was a little bit boring, but I do get that they needed something that was going to be not hundreds of dollars because they had to cater to everybody. But I do feel like they could have done it a little bit better. Like maybe instead of making it like a hanging thing, like a wall, it could have just been you built the sarcophagus and yeah. Yeah, but overall I like the sets and I love the minifigures. I think that they're really cute. And I do want more sets. I know we're not going to get them, but I want them. It's fine. We're going to talk about the minifigures because there's a bunch of different minifigures and poses depending on what set it came from. So, Scooby-Doo. He is in a standing position with his front paw raised, a closed mouth smile in the mansion set and the mummy set. In the plain set, he's in a sitting position wearing goggles with a closed mouth smile. In the mystery machine, he's in a standing position with his front paw raised and teeth chattering. In the lighthouse, he's in a sitting position with his teeth chattering. In LEGO Dimensions, he's in a sitting position with his tongue sticking out. And the limited edition version that came with Haunted Hollywood, he's in a standing position with his front paw raised and his tongue is sticking out. Shaggy in the Mummy, the Plane, and the Dimension sets, it's a double-sided face. So one side he has a closed mouth smile and the other side he's scared. And he just has a regular green shirt. In the Mystery Machine and the Mansion sets, he has an open mouth smile on one side and a frown on the other, and he's just wearing a green shirt. And in the Lighthouse set, he has an open mouth smile on one side, he's frowning on the other side, and he's wearing a green shirt with a starfish and seaweed. Fred in the Mystery Machine set, he is closed mouth smile on one side and scared on the other. Daphne in the Mansion and the Lighthouse set has an open mouth smile on one side and scared on the other side. Velma in the Mansion set has a closed mouth smile on one side and scared on the other. And just a note that she made a cameo in the Lego Movie 2, the second part. Villains. We have the Mummy, and it's the mummy face on one side and Dr. Najib on the other. Headless Horseman and Elwood Crane for the plain set. The zombie is the only minifigure that doesn't have the other face on the other side. The Lighthouse Keeper in the Lighthouse set. Swamp Monster in the Lighthouse set. Vampire in the Mansion set. The Ghost in the Mansion set has a glow-in-the-dark costume. That's pretty cool. The Black Knight is in the Mansion set, and then there's a Scooby Snack in the Dimension set, which I think is weird. It's just a bunch of stuff piled on top of each other. It's just, yeah. I didn't ever look at it and think, oh, that's a Scooby Snack.
Yeah.
I think that's my problem is that it's probably some type of sandwich, but they called it a Scooby Snack, and they're two different things.
Yeah. Agreed.
And then the Mystery Machine also comes in the Dimension set, and there's the mini Mystery Machine from the Lego Mystery Tour.
Did they not do like a miniature box of Scooby Snacks at all? Like to go with the characters? That seems like that should have been a part of that. That's weird.
It should have been, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think they did any miniature Scooby Snacks, which, that should have been like the first thing that they did. Considering Scooby comes with every set.
Yeah.
We should have at least had a box of Scooby Snacks.
It seems like the first accessory that you would include.
Yeah.
I did notice there was a lot of burgers in this.
Yeah. They use hamburgers in very weird places in some of these Lego sets. I don't know. Devin, your thoughts on the minifigures?
Okay, as I said before, I'm a minifigure boy. Okay, The L in Devin L. Smith, it stands for Lego. Okay, just so you know, that's my official middle name on my birth certificate. I'm a minifigure guy. That's what I mainly collected. I have literally, I was looking through it earlier today. I have, it's almost like a small tackle box or like craft box where like the things open up, you know what I mean? Like the little things like that. And it's full of minifigures, okay? Because they still do this. I stopped collecting them because they got a little bit boring. Not gonna lie, they got a little bit boring, and they also got way expensive. They used to be like $3 to $4 each, but I think they're like over $7 now. I haven't checked in a long time. But they used to just have little tiny bags, and they would come out with these. It was like mystery minifigure series, whatever, and there'd be like 12 or something, like different minifigures. It was a little blind bag thing where you'd rip it open and it'd be one of the figures from this series or whatever. And so I've got like a bunch of those. So I'm a minifigure guy. And I think that the Scooby Gang looks really great in these sets. I think that they all look really awesome. The colors are great. They all pop really nicely. I think that the monsters are just okay, if I'm being honest. I feel like they could have done more with them, because there was like one of the little mystery minifigure series that was like all like monsters and like spooky Halloween stuff. And those were way cooler than any of the villains that came with this Scooby-Doo set at all, in my opinion. There's like a werewolf and there's like a Frankenstein. I should have brought them. There's like Medusa and like a witch and like all this stuff. I think the villains are a little bit plain, if I'm being honest, with these sets. I wish that they like kind of did more with those. Maybe some more iconic ones, but like not like Space Kook, Creeper, Captain Cutler. Like maybe some ones that are a little bit more rare. Yeah, I don't know. And it's weird that Velma's the rarest. I guess I get it because she's in the biggest set and most people aren't buying the most expensive set or whatever. So it's interesting that she's the rarest one. What does she go for? Like alone, just the singular figure.
Just for Velma, she goes for $100 to $200 on eBay.
Yeah, that's we'll talk a little bit more about pricing on stuff, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I think the villains could be updated a little bit, or like if they do another series of these, they should do some better villains, I think, and better sets in general. But the Scooby Gang looks perfect, but they should include Scooby Snacks.
Joel, your thoughts on the minifigures?
Yeah, I agree with Devin with the villains. I like the Headless Horseman of Halloween.
Yeah.
But the vampire, it's cool, but it's probably like from another set, just kind of remodeled a bit differently. Lego's done so many medieval sets, so I'm like, the Black Knight's probably taken from that. The Ghost is cool, but I've seen him in other things. It's cool that he glows in the dark, though. But Scooby-Doo is like, the villains are so iconic, so distinct, and you know, with the show, Scooby-Doo show, you get the colors of the Scooby-Doo villains that you could have done some really cool things, but they didn't. And what can you do? Like even the Mummy, right? It's just probably pulled from some other set. But like Devin mentioned, like that set, I know the one you're talking about, the blind bags, and those are really cool. You had the zombie cheerleader, like you said, and the werewolf, and it was really awesome. Yeah, the fly head, the guy, Professor White Lab Coat fly head dude.
Mm-hmm.
Just so many cool, like I can remember those like from 10 years ago. I have them too, but those are awesome. I got the whole set. The minifigs for Scooby-Doo, they're cool. I like how you can switch the head around and they have different expressions. And they're cool. I'm glad Nikki went over everything because like mine are all over the place and I don't know what belongs to what set, but now I know. I can revisit this video and figure it out. And I think that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Wendy, your thoughts on the minifigures?
I agree. I do think that for what they are, they did do a good job translating the gang into that style. I really did not know that they had that many like villains involved with this. Because again, this was like not my thing. I wasn't really looking for it. And I was also today years old when I realized that the minifigures that I have are bootlegged and they're very different from the real ones. I knew they were bootleg because I got them off of eBay and they came from China and they were like, I don't know, like maybe $10 for all 5 of them. But I did not realize how different they look from the real ones, both in color and in certain styles. So can we consider, like, even though they are knockoffs and that's not what we're talking about right now, can I show them now in the figure section? Okay.
Please. I'm
So,
begging.
I mean, Scooby's pretty generic. I don't know where this little red piece came from, but I shoved it on his back, so whatever. But he looks pretty, I mean, I think he looks pretty similar to the real one. And he's quite cute. You know, I'm glad that he has like a fully formed head. Shaggy also.
Hold him up again. Hold him up.
Okay.
Is it the same?
No, yours has a different expression, I think.
Oh,
Because
it's
yours
so
has the
cool.
teeth showing on the other side, but mine is just a closed mouth.
Is there-
But I mean, they look pretty similar.
Mhm.
Yeah. How's the tag look on yours? Is it like the SD pretty good?
Actually, yes, it looks pretty good. Yeah, it's got gold on it, and you can read the SD.
Awful.
Yeah,
Thing
I
here.
don't know. Mine's pretty good. I think it's pretty good.
No,
Yeah.
not bad. Okay.
Yeah, he's cute. Because again, I mean, I'm not really into like the style of this. They're very blocky. Just not my typical thing. But the Scooby looks really good. Shaggy's going to a rave in his sleeveless top.
Man.
Okay, and I don't know, the fact that they came with like he has some kind of like random tablet. What even is that? I don't know.
The
You
treasure
know,
map.
oh, is that what it is?
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. Well, I was today years old when I got that memo. But like, look at it. Even his hair. I mean, he's kind of like he's a little different.
He
It's
looks
a little
like
different than
little,
Devin's.
Dylan Sprouse.
He kind of does, actually.
And like, even the green is wrong. It's not
Yeah.
the right color of green for Shaggy.
I do like that he's sleeveless, though. It's pretty cool.
It's a look.
I think he's
and then
supposed to
we
be
have
from the lighthouse set. Because he's that one there.
Is he sleeveless?
Maybe.
He's sleeveless and covered in like seaweed.
Yeah.
Oh, he has the starfish.
Okay.
hair.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Wow. All this time I thought he was just wearing like a Hawaiian print shirt. I didn't actually realize what that was supposed to be. Daphne looks good, but her hair is very dark.
Yeah.
And she had a camera, which, I mean, I do like the camera. I think that was kind of incidental, but it worked out because like they have like a whole ass dark room in the back of the Mystery Machine in one of the Scooby-Doo show episodes, and Daphne's like developing photos. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, I mean, her outfit is pretty close, but like the colors are very, very off, and she kind of has a mullet. Poor Velma. Oh, Velma. Velma has a nice little bun.
Ooh,
Wow. Look at those
Velma looks
glasses.
a little matronly here.
those glasses.
Yeah, it's a look. It's a look. She looks more like an Elsie to me here. But the real star of the show, I'm pretty sure Fred had like a little tablet or treasure map as well, but I think it fell off somewhere over there.
Okay.
But he's cute,
Okay.
right? Until you turn him around.
That's pretty great. Yeah.
He has a little ponytail, and I was like, "What? Why?"
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. No pony.
That's the way he was. So, yeah, that's fun.
Also.
Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, they were so cheap. I don't care. I don't care how different they are, because to be honest, like, yes, I did notice that certain aspects of them were a little weird when I got them, but I really just assumed that the regular ones were the same. They're not, but you know what? These are more fun. These are more fun. You guys know I love a bootleg thing. I love things that are just like Scooby spelled with a K, or the French spelling like Scooby-Doo, and it's weird. And yeah, that's what makes your collection fun. So knockoff minifigures, way cheaper than the other ones. And so I think they're just as good, because clearly, apart from style, I bet you that the quality of them, like the plastic and the durability, is probably exactly the same
Yeah.
on the figures.
Mm.
I think they would be.
Yeah. I like the minifigures. I think they're really cool. I do agree the villains aren't as great as they could be, but the gang looks great. I didn't realize how many different variations there were of Scooby until I was going through each set and trying to figure out which Scooby belonged to which set. There's a different Scooby for almost every set. That's a lot of Scoobies.
Yeah.
Considering there's only one Velma, that's a lot of Scoobies. But yeah, I think the minifigures are fun, and I really would love to see them do more sets of figures because I just think it would be cool.
I do love that they put the. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I love that they put the goggles on Scooby for the plane set. That was a good touch.
It's very cute. Yeah, he's really cute.
We're going to talk about pricing, and we're going to start with the original retail prices of the 5 Lego sets. The Mummy Museum Mystery Set was $14.99. The Mystery Plane Adventures set was $19.99. The Mystery Machine was $29.99. Haunted Lighthouse was $49.99. And the Mystery Mansion was $89.99. The total cost to buy them at retail in 2015 would have been $204.95. The market valuation of them now, and this is going to be different than what people are selling them for, but the value that they are now, and I'm gonna give you prices based on used market value and new sealed in the box. The Mummy Museum Mystery used is $36 to $54, and new sealed in the box is $100. The Mystery Plane Adventures is $46 to $60 used and $138 new. The Mystery Machine is $120 to $150 used and $286 new. The Haunted Lighthouse is $110 to $140 used, $270 new. And the Mystery Mansion is $245 to $300 used and $557 new. So if you were to buy all of the sets used, it would cost $604.37. And if you bought them new, it's $1,351.20. And remember, all 5 sets in 2015 were $204.95. These are the prices that they are going for online. So the Mummy set on Amazon, $138.99. On eBay, between $40 and $228. The plane set on Amazon, $179.70. On eBay, between $40 and $199. The Mystery Machine on Amazon, $347.13. On eBay, between $60 and $425. A lot of the lower end prices are incomplete sets. So you're looking more like middle of that range to the high amount for an actual complete set. The Haunted Lighthouse on Amazon is $426. On eBay, it's between $75 and $499. The Mystery Mansion set on Amazon, $700. On eBay, between $425 and $1,850. The minifigures, people are selling like just the heads or just the bodies for $4 each. The figures per figure range anywhere from $6 to $225 per figure, and for the full set, it's anywhere from $139 to $490 for the set. Velma goes for $100 to $200. Daphne anywhere from $33 to $100. Fred $11 to $95. And then the Lego Dimensions Scooby-Doo team pack on eBay is anywhere from $25 to $90. Pricing is insane considering the original prices that they were. And what are your thoughts on that, Joel?
Yeah, prices are nuts, just like any kind of Scooby collectible. You're getting the flippers, I think, too. And any Lego, anything Lego brand new now is expensive, and used or out of print is just, it's just not exclusive to Scooby. Which is why I'm happy you can go on AliExpress and buy bootlegs, but we'll talk about that later. But don't spend your money, don't spend a lot of money on these. Like Lego will probably release another set 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. You can wait. You can wait. Just don't pay too much for these. Unless you got a lot of money to burn, then sure, go ahead, I guess. But they're cool, but yeah, if you're people are going to buy it anyway, and you're just inflating prices because people go nuts, and there's a lot of people still buying these expensive sets, and I don't know why. You're just inflating the prices, and I think there's better ways to spend your money. But if you get, I don't know, I'm not you, so who cares? But yeah, get the bootlegs. Get the bootlegs. Save some money. If you don't want the wig with the ponytail for Fred, you can go on like a site called, I forget what it's called, but there's a site called Bricklinks or something where you can buy the proper wig for him. That's probably the official version. And you can buy the actual redhead non-mullet Daphne wig if you want for, you know, $1 or $2. And then you got a pretty decent knockoff. That's, yeah, I don't know. Prices for anything anymore are just aggravating, and it's why we don't have nice things anymore.
People on Reddit said that there isn't a huge difference between the knockoff versions and the Lego versions. That like maybe the bricks go together nicer in the Lego version, but the knockoff version works just as well, and it's so much cheaper.
Yeah, it's you have to watch who you're buying it from. Like there's like 9 different brands. They'd have it all on Reddit. Like I forget, there's like King Bricks, and there's other ones, Marstar, not Marstar, but something like that. And you just go for the better quality, and you look on, if you go on AliExpress, we'll talk about this in bootlegs later. Like if you put in Scooby Lego, you won't find it, but if you put in the number plus Scooby, you'll find what you want. And just buy from someone who has higher ratings and has sold more than one. And read the reviews, and you'll kind of get a good idea. You got to put some work into it, but you'll get free shipping, and you'll save hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. Wendy, your thoughts on the pricing?
Is this such a good example of like how insane people have gotten? Because like Joel said, it's pretty much everything that's Scooby now. You do a search for Scooby-Doo, and you will find the most basic, rudimentary, newish Scooby item, and there is someone wanting like $100 for it. And I mean, I agree. I think you should just get the bootleg sets. No one is ever going to convince me that like Lego needs to charge, and I'm just talking like any like regular Lego set that you could go walk into the store tomorrow and see it on the shelf and buy it. They're averaging like around $70 here, regardless of whether it's something like Star Wars or Scooby, or whether it's like a flower that you put together. No one is ever going to convince me that they need to charge that much money in order to like pay their workers a living wage. No one is going to convince me of that. That is like gouge level pricing. That is like where you're not happy with like a reasonable amount of profit. You just want whatever the market will bear. That is what you're charging. And that's on new things. That's like from companies. So of course, when you get into the reseller market, when you get onto eBay and stuff, it's that exponentially. I mean, like when Nikki was giving us like a range, well, it could be 40, it could be 300. Well, that's because there are so many people doing it. And again, on any given day, you could do a search for Scooby and find the same product within that crazy range. And you're like, how are you, to the person who's charging $200, like surely you saw the exact same thing listed here for 40. Why would anybody buy yours when they could get it for 40 on the same platform? Which leads me in particular to the Lego stuff. Is anyone actually paying these outrageous prices, or is this just what people are trying to charge? I would like to know, has someone legitimately paid $100 for a Velma figure? Has someone legitimately paid $700 for the mansion? I want to know, did somebody actually do that? Are people actually buying them? Or is the secondhand market just completely flooded with this stuff because no one is actually dumb enough to pay that kind of money? I'm sure that there are some people, like a handful of people here and there, dumb enough to do it. Too much money to burn. I don't know what it is, but I can't believe that there's any turnover for this. Like, it's got to just be like an optics thing where, yeah, people are trying to charge this much money, but like, how long is your listing sitting there unsold? That's what I would be more interested in knowing here.
Okay. I went on eBay. I looked up Velma Lego figure. I went to the sold and completed items. So these are verified purchases.
Okay.
People have bought one Velma complete. She has a magnifying glass and a map, $102. That was on July 5th. So recently. We've got a $99 one, an $88 one, $119, $120, $99, $109. Yeah. So at least $100 averagely, it looks like about. People are buying within the last month or two here.
Okay, so then my next question is everyone selling drugs? Is that how people are making money that they can spend? I mean, I'm not saying that I've never spent $100 on something, but like if I'm going to spend $100, I'm getting a whole Scooby-Doo telephone. Okay? I am sure as hell a 10-year-old freaking piece of Lego for $100. So please, whoever you are out there buying this crap for this price, what is your secret? What are you selling? What are you selling? Are you selling your virginity? Are you selling your kidneys? Are you selling drugs? Because somehow, like, the math is not mathing, as the kids like to say today. Where are you getting the money to pay rent and buy overpriced groceries and $100 Velma? Make it make sense. I don't get it. I want to know. I want to know what the secret is, because I would love to have that kind of money to just like burn on mediocre stuff. I would love that. So someone share your secrets with us, please.
Devin, your thoughts on the pricing?
Me? And rebuttal to what Wendy said, not exactly a rebuttal because I agree with everything you guys are saying. I have to imagine the people that are buying these things either have like exposable, expendable,
Disposable.
disposable,
Yeah.
expendable, disposable income. That's the word that I wanted to use there. Disposable income, right? So they're like, they must make some good money. Or maybe, you know, everybody has different hobbies. If someone's like a Lego person, really a Scooby-Doo person, like, and this is like the one item that they're like, I have to have Velma, and they save up for it, it could be that situation. But if you're just buying $100 figure willy-nilly, not me. But good for you if you are. Like, congratulations, I wish. I'm sure I've definitely bought a lot of like little stuff for way too much money that I shouldn't have. But like Joel said, you know, you try to find the cheaper version of things, or you get the, you know, as we've been discussing, get a bootleg version of something. But I'm not surprised, I guess, because Legos, yeah, like we've been saying, Legos are just expensive in general. So I'm not surprised that they like went up at all over the years or anything like that. Like, I remember, because like I said, I'm a veteran. I've been in the Lego game a long time. Okay, I'm a Lego veteran here. When I was in middle school, one of the first things I sold on eBay, I had a Boba Fett and a Jango Fett from Star Wars minifigure. And I was like, oh, these sell for a good amount of money on eBay. And I sold them, one for like $60 and one for like $80. And this was in like 2008, maybe? Okay, it's like maybe like 2008-ish. And that was a number of years ago now. So I'm sure that those prices have gone way up, and I should have saved them for another 22 years, and I could have made even more money off of them. But you know what? Whatever. I was super stoked to be a kid with a bunch of with at least $100 and whatever dollars. You know what I mean? Like that was big money. But yeah, so I'm not surprised because those were just little figures over 20 years ago, going for $60 to $80 for one figure back then. So I'm not shocked that it's still expensive now. That's, like I said earlier, kind of why I got out of the Lego hobby in general, is because it is very expensive. And I like going to antique stores and thrift stores and estate sales and getting cheap junk that people don't want. That's way more up my alley. I like cheap stuff. And I guess, without reiterating everything you guys have said, because I totally agree, I guess besides bootlegs, the next best thing is like buy stuff when it's fresh in store, because it's going to go up because of scalpers or time, and it's just going to get more expensive or whatever. So try to get it if it's new when you can. Like if you see something and you're like, ooh, $35, I don't know if I can get that right now, but you really want it, give it a couple months or a couple years and it's going to be double that price. So you might as well just get it now. That's a mistake that I've definitely made, where I'm like, oh, wait. And then I'm like, man, I should have definitely just bought that at the time. Yeah, spend your money how you like.
I don't like the price gouging. I just think it's so ridiculous. And I don't understand how people have the money in this economy where everything is so expensive to be able to drop $100 on a minifigure.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I did buy all of the Lego sets when they first came out. I went to the Scooby-Doo LEGO Mystery Tour in September 19th, 2015 at the Bridgewater Mall in New Jersey. It was really cool. There were people dressed up like Lego Scooby and Shaggy. There were huge sculptures of the gang and the Mystery Machine. You got to build your own mini Mystery Machine, create masks. There were bags that you could color different Scooby scenes. And it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it very much, but I was able to buy all of the Lego sets for their original prices, which still cost me over $200, but it was well worth it, because to have somebody trying to sell the mansion for $1,800, they're never going to sell it for that. There's no way. If somebody buys that mansion for $1,800, you have got way too much money. Yeah. That's not a problem that I have, but yeah. We're going to talk about the knockoff sets, and Joel showed us the one set that he has from AliExpress. Mm-hmm. There's sets from a company called Bella, and it's basically knockoff versions of each one of the Scooby-Doo sets that were created, that they just made them a little less quality, but a lot cheaper. There is a mystery machine, which is actually called the Psychedelic Adventure Van on Amazon. Wow. It's 348 pieces. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. And then I don't know if you guys remember the character building. They had the micro figure packs. And the one set was Scooby, Shaggy, the Yeti, a Crabman, and Wolfman. And then the other set was Scooby, Fred, the Ghost Clown, Voodoo Man, and Frankenstein. And they were just like, they weren't real Legos, but they worked with Legos. And then also on Amazon, there's the Cartoon Mystery Detectives action figure building set. And it's 575 pieces, and it features Fred, Daphne, Shaggy, and Velma. I don't think Scooby was included in that. So those are the ones that I found. And my thoughts on knockoff sets, I'd prefer to have the actual sets, because I prefer to have actual, like, official merchandise. But at the same time, there are some things that I have in my collection that are not official merchandise that are just really, really cool. So Yeah, I guess it depends on what it is, but I think for the Legos, I would prefer to have the actual Lego sets. Yeah. Wendy, your thoughts on the knockoff sets?
Yeah, like I say, I love a good knockoff. I would be very, very curious, especially when it comes to the larger sets. So the mansion and the lighthouse. I mean, obviously we have seen the difference that the figures are. And like, yes, there are obvious like visual differences. But I would be willing to bet that if you put a real version, official version of the mansion and a knockoff mansion fully built, same with like the lighthouse, so like the more elaborate sets, I am willing to bet that if you put them both together and you put them in a room and you had collectors come in or you had people come in and be like, which is the official one and which is the knockoff? Like people that don't already know, people who have never seen the sets like in person, they've never put them together. I am willing to bet that the majority of people either wouldn't be able to tell the difference or the difference would be so slight that they wouldn't care. If you were to maybe like have a room full of the mansions, some of them are knockoffs, some of them are official, and you put a price tag on each and every one of them. Like let's say there was 6 of them, 3 knockoffs, 3 official ones, and you priced them, you know, obviously you can't give it away by being like, oh, here's 3 that are cheap and 3 that are expensive. But if you just arbitrarily assigned dollar values, some less and some more, I bet you that no one would go to the most expensive set, whether it was the bootleg or the real one. No one's going to go to that one. I bet that they would all be so similar enough that everyone would choose the cheapest one to take home, even if it ended up being the bootleg. So, because now we can have a talk about this, because I have often felt this way when it comes to Funko Pops. I know that, like, yes, there's the proof. It is not the same as the official one. I get that. But I have quite a few Funkos that I've gotten directly from China off of eBay, very, very cheaply, including the Captain Cutler, the Scooby one. That was quite expensive to get on the North American side. In Canada, we don't get much of anything. So as soon as you have to pay USD for something, like you're adding like 30% onto the price of it. And that's even without shipping. And I got a little Captain Cutler from China in his box for like $15 Canadian, free shipping. I know that in some cases, yes, a knockoff is a genuine, this company over here reproduced it. I get that. But I feel like a lot of the time, a knockoff or a bootleg is just the real ones that didn't make it through quality control at the factory and were rejected because of flaws in the design. You know, like the paint was like not quite in the right place. There was like a dent in the plastic. The box was damaged. Any number of things leads the product, they're the item, to like be rejected. But no one wants to lose money. So I think it would be silly to think that they take those rejects and just throw them in the garbage. So I definitely feel this way about Funkos. I think that a knockoff Funko is not actually a knockoff Funko. It is just a Funko that was not high quality enough to make it to legitimate markets under that name. But much like, you know, I kind of think that these Lego sets are maybe just real ones that they weren't quite up to snuff. So maybe, I don't know, I don't exactly know how this works. Does the fact, like, do the manufacturers like sell the rejects to another factory somewhere or another outlet, or reselling, like whatever that looks like over there? Are they selling them, the rejects, cheaply, and then they're reselling them as knockoffs and bootlegs? I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. Let me just say that. I would not be surprised if your mansion that was a knockoff was actually manufactured in the exact same factory that the real one was, and it just didn't make it through quality control. So it got pushed off to the side. Somebody else bought it and resold it to you, and they didn't have to charge you a whole bunch because they got it cheap, because otherwise it was just literally going to go in the trash. I don't know. Obviously, this is total conjecture on my part based on a totally different product, you know, over the years, I've seen a lot of these things, and I'm just like, just because it didn't get sold to you by the brand name does not mean it was not made in exactly the same place by exactly the same people, and it is technically exactly the same product, which would further make it kind of gross the price that they want for stuff that's like real, because the other guys are like, no one's selling you anything without making money on it. If it's being sold to you at a low price, you can be guaranteed that the person that is selling it is still making a profit, even if it's like that big. They are not going to sell it to you at a loss. So markup is a thing, but you know, if you want to be that greedy, if you are like an official company and you need that much of a markup, you want like, you know, like a 500% markup, calm down. That's not reasonable. And for that reason, I would encourage people, like, yeah, go buy the knockoff. Show the legitimate place, like, you need to calm down a little bit. You're being ridiculous. There's no rationale to these prices that you've got. Go get the bootleg, because the bootleg seller is still making money, or he wouldn't be selling them.
True. Devin, your thoughts on the knockoffs?
Just jumping off of what you were saying there, Wendy. I have no idea, obviously. I could definitely see like the quality checks, the ones that don't pass the quality check, like maybe not Lego specifically, but like any other stuff too, you know what I mean? Like being sold for cheaper from a different company. Cause like that happens with like food all the time, right? Where like, like chips or crackers or weird stuff, you know what I mean? It's like one company's producing them, but like they're selling them at different like grocery stores for different prices and like under different brand names and stuff. Lego specifically, I don't know. I feel like as a Lego connoisseur, I feel like a Coke or Pepsi. I feel like I could close my eyes, and if you handed me a Lego brick that was off-brand versus real, I think that I would know, because Lego has like certain patents with like how their bricks stick together and like the way that they're like. This isn't a great example, but like the way they're shaped underneath and like their little holes and like all the stuff in there. They like have a certain patent with how they're made that I think other companies can't use. So like off brands would be slightly different. Even though they would work with Lego, you would be able to tell the difference because of that. The minifigures, I don't know for sure. I feel like those could probably be pretty similar, but like the Lego pieces themselves, you could definitely like tell the difference. So I don't know, but I guess it's not impossible. If there was defected ones, they could definitely be sold somewhere and then resold for cheaper, whatever. Like if Lego's going to just throw them out, maybe they're like, take them. I don't know. But yeah, as far as the knockoffs and the bootlegs and things, I think the reason that you would buy a bootleg is because the thing you want is too expensive, right? That's the whole reason you'd buy a bootleg. Otherwise you would buy the name brand and the real version of it. So if for me personally, if I was going to buy something, let's Lego or not or whatever, it'd have to be something like if I really, really wanted this item or this Lego set or whatever, I think that I would spend the money to buy the real one. If I really, really wanted it, if it was like, I really want it, I'd get the real one. So that way I know I have like the real one. It's got money behind it. Like it'll be worth something down the road, whatever, blah, 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 you know, stuff like that. Like, if I really liked the item and it was something that meant something to me, I'd buy a real one. But if it's something that I don't necessarily care about, I would just buy like the bootleg version of it. You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily, I'm going Christmas caroling after this. I don't necessarily care about these Lego sets specifically, you know what I mean? So like I would be totally okay with like having a box on my shelf that says Scooby with a K on it. Like I would prefer that because it's funnier, and every time I look at it I'd be like, that's hilarious. And the ones that you sent earlier, Nikki, like I was talking about collecting the minifigures, they used to come in like little plastic baggies, right? But the ones that you sent, they looked like they were in like little boxes. They look like a crayon box, like a cigarette box or something, like the shape of it. Like
Yeah.
it was like a little box. Like I would 100% just buy one of those. The Fred one specifically, Nikki put the whole picture that I sent of Fred's face right on the screen, giant right now, full screen. I would buy that box to set on my shelf over this real figure of Fred because it's hilarious. You know what I mean? Like that figure you have, Wendy, of Fred with the little ponytail, or the Velma with those ugly glasses. I would 100% rather have that on my shelf because that's hilarious. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it depends on how bad you actually want the thing. If it's something you want, spend the money. If it's something you don't really care for, get the bootleg. If you just want to have it in your collection for either collection completion's sake or just because you like it enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Joel, your thoughts on the knockoffs?
I love the knockoffs. I'm trying to think what I was going to say though. I'm glad they exist. I'm glad people have options. I prefer generally to get the real thing, but like anything, if the price is too high, I'm going to get the knockoff. I feel like modern example, there's always wanted like an AT-AT Lego, but then they came out with like a gingerbread AT-AT Lego for Christmas. So it looks like that thing is like a gingerbread made out of gingerbread, and I'm like, I really want that. But it's like $200. I'm like, if I go on AliExpress, it's like $45. It's why not get that when I'm just gonna put it together, put it off somewhere, and I'm sure if I touch it, it's just gonna it probably wouldn't shatter. But I bought a knockoff Millennium Falcon because I always wanted a real thing. I bought it for $45. If I bought it here, it'd be 150. And it's not perfect. It doesn't. Some of the pieces aren't tight or flush, but it's good enough. It's not gonna. It's about 80% there. It's just good enough for me. They came out with like a Golden Girls apartment Lego. It was like $200. I'm like, I'm not paying that much. But when I'm looking on AliExpress, it's $50. I'm like, I might get that one day. And it's gonna be there. It's not gonna disappear. Like you can still go buy these Scooby sets. You can buy this Scooby with a K or the cigarette boxes. You can probably still buy it on AliExpress. From what I understand, it's not the pieces that aren't meant for public consumption or whatever, um, defects or whatever. It's I think it's just factories because there's been a lot of factories being shut down that are producing these Lego sets. Lego has been going into China, shutting things down, and it's getting tougher to actually buy them, but there's still ways. This is what I understand from reading on Reddit because I've been looking at these trying to find out who sells the best ones, and they're like, "Oh no, this factory shut down." And then in the States, it's more pricey for you because you have tariffs on stuff coming from China, where in Canada we don't. So it's a lot cheaper actually to get these AliExpress stuff in Canada than it is the States. For one time, we actually win at something. Usually everything's way more expensive to buy. It's actually cheaper to buy it from China, some things, than to buy it in Canada. It's just weird that way. And yeah, I love the knockoffs. Love it that it's there. I was going to comment too, like sometimes these prices are high because I think speculation. I think people are buying Lego as an investment, which people do that with comic books too. Like they're buying comic books, which are graded now as investments. I think it's nuts. I would never spend a ton of money on a comic book. Like for me, I want that original #1 Hanna-Barbera. I've wanted it for years, but I'm never going to buy it because it's just too much money. Or the Gold Key Hanna-Barbera, the Gold Key comic, the #1. Like I tried buying it 20 years ago and it's still pricey. And I'm like, to me, I could see why someone would buy it though. I'm not shaming anyone because it's a Scooby-Doo. You got to buy Scooby-Doo, right? But for me, it's like too much. I'm just going to read it online. That's the bootleg version. Read it online. I'm happy to read it. It's always going to be there. That's why I like bootlegging because it kind of or piracy even. Like we see the model with Netflix now. Netflix got greedy. They keep jacking up the prices. They have the password control. So piracy is booming again, where if they kept it fair price, let the password sharing happen, you'd have, I think, more subscribers and less piracy. But with piracy, we also get preservation. And with bootlegging, we get preservation. If you want these figures, you don't have to fork over your retirement to buy it. You can buy the knockoff. It's preserved. The models they are using, it's the legit models in most cases. They've just stolen the factory workers just kind of steal the molds or whatever. From what I understand, from what I read, who knows? Um, and they're not exact because maybe the factory workers aren't, you know, has high quality control, but it's good enough. And I have more thoughts, but that's all I got in my head. I'm running out of ideas or thoughts. Um, yeah, done.
They do tend to use the original artwork from the Lego sets, it seems like, on the knockoff versions. And I wasn't able to find any pictures of actual knockoff versions put together, so it would be interesting to see what quality they actually are. So if anyone has ever put one together, send us some pictures so that we can see what they look like. 'Cause
I
I'm
would,
curious.
yeah, I would love to like get a real set and a knockoff set and then build both of them and actually be able to physically like compare them side by side, colors and stuff. Like, are they the exact same amount of bricks? Like, are the instructions exactly the same? Did they just copy them? Like, do you
Right.
have the brick count for any of the off brands?
I do, yeah.
Compare one.
So let me look at the count for the others. Okay, so this is for the Bella sets. The Mystery Museum is also 110 pieces. The Mystery Plane, 128 pieces. They seem to be pretty much the same. 300 for the Mystery Machine. The Lighthouse is 437, and the Mystery Mansion 8. Yeah, so they're the same amount of pieces.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. Why would the off brand, whoever's taking this, want to do the work that's already been done and try to figure out a
Right.
different way to put this together? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 I do want to talk about why you think that only 5 Scooby-Doo Lego sets were made. We're really just talking about the 5 core sets because everything else was kind of like a limited edition kind of thing. So some of the things that I found was that it costs too much to get the full set of the gang, having to buy at least 2 sets, including the mansion set and the mystery machine, which was the most, and the mansion was the most expensive. So people didn't buy the Lego sets. And that caused Lego to not sell as much as they thought they would have. So therefore, they didn't make any more sets. Which, I mean, that would make sense, but I feel like every time I went to a store, they never had Scooby sets because they were sold out. Because they had the tag on the shelf, but they never had any sets. Instead of expanding the traditional toy line, they shifted it to focus on Lego Dimensions. And they said that the sets were not top selling hits compared to like Star Wars or Ninjago, so they only designed them as a limited run theme. So what are your thoughts on why there were only 5 sets? Devin?
Yeah, I was actually just going to bring up like Harry Potter, like Star Wars, certain IPs like have been around for like years, decades, even, you know, at this point. And so like those just must like sell really well. Like Star Wars, for example, I'll just keep using that one. Like that's like one of the huge ones for Lego. I have to imagine that fan base is probably, yeah, it's bigger than Scooby-Doo. You know what I mean? Even though Scooby-Doo is like popular, everybody knows what it is. Like Star Wars is like a massive. So I imagine like those must just sell like at a higher rate. You know what I mean? Like you said, like not enough sets were apparently bought, so they did it as a limited thing, and then they didn't. Whatever, you know. I guess I have to imagine that paying for the IP is a factor in it as well. Like if the Star Wars sets, for example, keep selling, it's worth paying for that IP to continue making new sets. But if the Scooby-Doo sets don't, you know, like I don't know how much they pay for that sort of thing, but like it's got to be a lot. Like if they didn't sell a lot, they're like, well, we're not going to like bother with like paying a fee to keep this IP for a certain number of years to like make more because it didn't do well in the first place. So I imagine maybe it ran out and that's why none have been made, because it's been over 10 years now. So maybe they would have to renew it or something like that. That's all just speculation. I have no idea. I'm just guessing, but maybe that would be a reason. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Joel, what are your thoughts?
A couple like the Scooby-Doo stuff wasn't really aside from the Lego movies, it wasn't promoting like a new show or anything. Like around that time, you also had the Marvel sets coming out. And I don't think you can buy any Marvel sets now because there's not as many Marvel movies coming out. But back then, there's a ton of Marvel sets coming out. So much shelf space. Star Wars was always filling up shelves. Like Star Wars and Lego are synonymous now, right? Like you can't really think of one without thinking about the other. They're just go hand in hand. They had the Batman sets too around then, which were super popular. So Scooby, it's nothing new. Scooby-Doo was coming out. There probably was a few things, but nothing major compared to like Marvel movies or whatever. And then a lot of sets like Indiana Jones that came out 2 years ago. It's a big IP, but they only had 3 sets. They had a fourth one, but it never came out. But Nikki, I agree too. Like they sold pretty well, the Scooby ones too. Like I don't know how many they produced compared to Star Wars, but I had trouble going into Toys R Us and finding a set half the time. I went for a couple months I had them call me when the Mystery Machine came in again because I couldn't just buy it. And then people were nuts. You go in there and people are walking with shopping carts full of Lego. And like, how can you afford this? Like just full on shopping carts where the bills were like 2-3 grand. And like, not just the Scooby, just of everything. So, because I think you had a lot of speculators back then buying things. So I think they sold well. Some of that might have been speculation and fans getting their hands on it. And yeah, there's just so much shelf space in a Toys R Us. You have your Lego store. I've never been to one, but I imagine even they wouldn't even have room for all these sets. Just given the Star Wars, Harry Potter, Marvel, Batman at that time that was coming out for that, and plus their Friends lineup. Not the Friends, this TV show, but they had the cutesy kind of like dolls, like Lego that was popular with the girls. There's just a ton of Lego, and I think they have to come out with something new every year to excite people. Like after this, the big thing was Pirates of the Caribbean. They did a bunch of sets, but they didn't do like a full on. They did like 5 Pirates of the Caribbean, and they did a couple of Simpsons sets. So you can only squeeze so much out of it, I think, and then they just have so much on the go. It's just Lego's always doing. They have like a nearly life-size Titanic set now. It fills up a room. It's crazy what they're coming out with and what people are paying for it.
Lego store is fun though. You go in there and you can see all the sets and you can buy bricks by color and size, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've been to Legoland more than a few times. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome stuff. They got like 20-foot tall like Lego sculptures and stuff. It's crazy. It's really cool.
Yeah. We took our kids to I think it was one of the museums around here, but they had one of the professional Lego builders, and he had built a bunch of sculptures for the museum, and then he was there like building with the kids, and that was pretty cool. Wendy, your thoughts on why you think they only designed 5 sets?
You know what? I think that unfortunately they just jumped the gun and the sets came out about 5 or 6 years too early. I think that Scooby was growing in popularity in 2015, but I don't think that he had yet hit that pinnacle that flipped a switch on what people wanted to charge for Scooby stuff. I don't think that happened until like honestly around the time that you started the panel. I feel like that time, I don't know if it had anything to do with COVID. I don't know what it had to do with, but I feel like Scooby went from being normal popular as just like a classic cartoon People knew what it was, but I mean, like, none of us had like come out of the woodwork. You know what I mean? Very few people were like, oh my God, Scooby, like, bleh. They were out there, but no one had like connected yet. And I feel like when that connection happened, though, that just like Scooby's popularity went up, prices went up, buying went up, Warner Brothers lost its mind, you know, and started doing whatever they wanted. Because the popularity boom happened and they knew that they could. And Scooby is a cash cow. No matter how you look at it, Scooby is a cash cow. And we have sort of been like riding this now for like about 5 years. Like what I would say is probably peak Scooby, maybe ever, as far as how integrated he has become with just everyday pop culture. People are willing to spend more money because they want the things. Now, I guess that people are still thinking like resale value. Now, I would still encourage everyone. The only investment that your collection should be in is your happiness. Don't buy junk thinking that you're going to like make your millions by the time you're 50. Maybe you will. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is highly, highly, highly unlikely. And if anything, we should be able to look around right now and see that the pursuit of that is ruining it for everyone. It's ruining it for everyone because no one can actually afford stuff. Okay, the days of, and again, this is not like all encompassing. Sure, there are people that go to yard sales that still find like a good Scooby item here or there. But the days of being, of like expecting to be able to do that, of expecting to go to a flea market and find a cheap Scooby item, the days of expecting that to be there are gone. Because the resellers are going to grab it. If it is there for that price, the resellers are going to grab it. And the next thing you know, it's going to be on eBay for like 20 times the price. That ruins it for everyone. I know people want to make a quick buck. And I know, yeah, it's fun. Go shopping, buy a bunch of crap, resell it at a profit. It sounds like a lot of fun. But it's a little bit gross to me. It just is. And we've taken something that was for fun and enjoyment, and we've ruined it. We've ruined it with this false promise of making money, either in the here and now or later on. So I think if the Lego sets were to have come out just a couple of years ago, right now, to be honest, if they wanted to try again, now would probably be a really good time, because I also feel like we have already hit the Scooby pinnacle and we've gone over the top. We're on the way down again. That's just my opinion. But I think we already hit the peak. The peak is done. The peak happened 2021, 22, maybe even into 23. And now we're sort of on the downturn. And I think that Scooby is going to, I think it's going to calm down. Now, how long will it take for the people selling Scooby to catch on to that and adjust things accordingly? Probably never. Honestly, probably never. I don't think we're ever going back to a time where collecting was for people that just enjoy it. I don't think that there's no putting that genie back in the bottle. It's done.
I think they'll have to come down on their prices at some point because no one's going to buy stuff. They're going to have no choice if they want to sell it.
But do you not think that and again, this is just from like observing people now. I feel like people, I don't know that a lot of them are like, I was going to say smart enough, but that's like not nice. I don't know if they're savvy, business savvy enough to realize like you need to let it go. You're going to lose money by trying to hold on to all this stuff instead of moving it. Because I feel like I see that in stores all the time now with any kind of product where it's like people, they want to make that one $100 sale, and they've completely forgotten that in marketing, if you sold 1,000 of them at $10 a piece, you're making more money. But they get like the big dollar signs, you know, in their eyes, and that's all that they see. So I'm not sure that the reseller market, I feel like it's going to take a really long time. I think a lot of people, even when the downturn starts translating into no one's buying, I still think that they're going to be very stubborn and be like, no, I'm not letting it go for anything less, because like 10 years ago, this is what I was selling it for. There's absolutely no way. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I would love for everyone to like, yeah, let's just start moving it. Let's get it out of here. I can't store it. I need to make a little bit of money. Like, I hope that will happen and maybe calm everything down a little bit, but I don't have a lot of faith that it will, but hopefully it will. But I think that is the primary reason that they didn't make any more. Not that it wasn't successful on the first run, but I don't think that it did as well as, like you guys said, other bigger properties did. Maybe Warner Brothers even pulled Lego's license because of that. And you know, because like big companies sometimes, again, they make weird decisions when they start looking at like making one large amount of money here real quick, rather than like, no, you need volume. You need volume sales. You need volume customers. That's where the money is. Again, it's like 1,000 customers at $10 a piece rather than one customer at $100. And I think that maybe, you know, maybe the company themselves kind of got greedy. I mean, we can see it with television shows. How many new shows today? You get one season. And if it is not a blockbuster hit right out of the gate, it's done. It's done. Cut it, move on, do something else. And I'm like, my God, no, you need to give people time. And because that's become the norm, no one even wants to take a chance. Oh my God, there's a new show coming out. I'd kind of like to watch it, but what's the point? It's only going to make one season and they're going to cut it. So I think that can happen with merchandise as well, where they sort of fall into that trap too. And also, I mean, even if they were selling a decent volume of those Lego sets, I kind of think everyone was probably just a little disappointed in them. They weren't wow. They got purchased because they were Scooby, not because they were good. And there's a big difference there. Because really, would these have appealed to just a Lego collector? Or were they only appealing to those of us that love Scooby and we're like, well, it's Scooby. We're going to buy it. We're going to at least find one set that we can afford and that we like. Whereas I do kind of feel like some of the other Lego, like whether it's more popular IPs or it's just something different, a lot of it, there is like cross. You don't just have to love Lego for the sets to be appealing to you. Like the flower Legos, just as, because like that's at my stores anyway, there's like huge sections of like build these flowers. You don't have to be a Lego person to appreciate or maybe even want one of those sets. But these Scooby sets were so, like, I'm sorry, but mediocre. I feel like you needed to be Scooby to want it. You needed to be a Scooby fan. So there was no cross, I can't think of the word, but you know what I mean? Just Lego people, what the heck would you want it for? They wouldn't. I don't think that they would. So unfortunately, I don't think Scooby had hit that popularity yet. And it wasn't appealing enough to anyone other than Scooby fans. So there was just no point. There was more money to be made in a dozen other things. And so I think they just moved on.
I want to jump on a couple of things that you said there. Just thinking about, you said that this set would have done better if it came out now, right? Instead of when it did. I totally agree with that. Or like 5 years later, right? Like kind of like during COVID time. I feel like COVID is when a lot of people like started discovering that they have hobbies from when they were younger and like nostalgia and online stuff. And it just became a whole different world after then. And I think that's why it was like, oh, it's okay to like stuff from when you were a kid and talk about it online. You know what I mean? So I feel like anytime after COVID, I think would have been a better time. Cause like at that time, 2015, like like Mystery Incorporated ended, Be Cool was out, right? And people like didn't really Be Cool at the time. You know, it's obviously had like a resurgence. People like appreciate it and reevaluate it now. But people didn't really like it at the time. So Scooby-Doo was like in a weird spot for sure at that time. And I feel like, yeah, like if it came out 5 years later after COVID, or even like, I would say like 10 years earlier, like after the 90s movies and like early 2000s, like the live action movies and what's new, like Scooby-Doo, like when I was a kid, like it was like I have a billion toys that are brand new from the store when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Because Scooby was like so popular, like bed sheets and action figures and this and that and bowls and plates and things like that. Like it was everywhere. Every store I went to as a kid had like Scooby-Doo stuff. I've got like tons of it, like tubs of it at my parents' house still that I should probably bring here. But yeah, I think that like 10 years before it came out would have been a really good time too, because I would have ate that up as a kid. You know what I mean? I would have loved that. And yeah, now as well. And I was going to say something else. It's it's a different topic, has nothing to do with the Legos, but I was going to say, I feel like Scooby-Doo was on like a little bit of a decline. Don't hate me, Scooby-Doo fans, okay? I feel like the movies were getting a little bit stale and like you know what I mean? It's very repetitive the last handful of years. And like, I've seen a lot of posts on Reddit or like Instagram where people are like, oh, like, is Scooby-Doo going to be okay? This is the first time in like decades that we haven't had anything for a couple of years. And like, I honestly think that we're in a good spot for Scooby, because I think that it gives it a little bit of time to breathe and then hopefully come back like with a new, you know what I mean? Like I feel like there was a time where like there was nothing, and then like the 90s movies came out, you know, the Mook films, and then like there was a good resurgence in the early 2000s, and then it kind of fell off again. And I feel like we're in that time of resurgence right now where like hopefully it takes a little breather, and then maybe this like live action TV show comes out, and like maybe that'll do something new for the franchise and audiences, because it's something we haven't experienced before. So like I think that we're heading in like a new good direction for Scooby-Doo, where maybe we could get Lego sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's possible. One thing that Joel and Wendy both brought up was people posting stuff on eBay for insane amounts of money. It really bothers me when people post an item on eBay for the crazy amount of money, but that you could still buy through Amazon or through the store.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what the point of that is. Like, take the Little People, the Scooby Little People set that was out. I mean, you can still buy it on Amazon for like $36, but people were buying it on Amazon and posting it on eBay for $75.
Yeah.
I think it's all just like scalpers guessing, you know what I mean? They're like hoping, oh, I'm gonna buy this and then I'm just gonna sell it for a bunch more because like it's gonna sell out at the stores, and they're just like hoping that somebody will be like dumb enough to spend that kind of money, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of the same with like low budget like ripoffs of movies, you know what I mean? Or like there's a big like box office smash, and then like an off-brand movie like company makes something kind of similar to it and like hopes that people buy like the DVD of that movie or whatever. It's kind of like that, I feel like, you know?
It just drives me crazy.
That's gross.
Yeah.
I would like to talk about our dream Lego sets for Scooby-Doo. Joel?
I would love A Night of Freddy's No Delight. Kind of like the haunted lighthouse, like on the island, but the house from that. The secret tunnels, the Scooby-shaped coffin, a little record player that, you know, maybe has a sound clip that plays. Because they're introducing sound now into the Scooby sets, or not Scooby sets, Lego sets. Like you can buy Star Wars sets now where Darth Vader talks, and I want them, but I'm not going to buy them because money. But that would be cool. I would love. Well, there's a bunch too, like Hassle in the Castle. That'd be a cool set. Have a drawbridge. Have the mad scientist thing. Have the little cellar. Have the gypsy cart outside. I'll stop there. I'm more interested in what everyone else has to say.
If they make the Scooby Legos that make sounds, how badly do you think the knockoff versions are going to sound?
I would buy those immediately.
Wendy, what is your dream Scooby-Doo Lego set?
Okay, first, just to go off of what you just said, Crystal sent me a Wheel of Fortune clip the other day where Pat Sajak did an impression of Scooby, and it is the worst impression of anything I've ever heard in my life. It was awful. I would buy a Scooby figure that sounded like that, though.
I think about that clip all the time.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was awful. It was awful. Okay, so I have a couple of sets. I could not just decide on one, although I could pick one if I absolutely had to, but a malt shop. We need a little malt shop that not only comes with a little mystery machine, but like it also has an extra car, because the other day on Twitter when I was doing, I don't know what national day it was, but I had 2 shots of like from the outside of the malt shop, and there's obviously like the mystery machine, and then there's like a little hot rod car that's parked there as well. So I feel like you need 2 cars. You need the mystery machine and you need some kind of little hot rod. Nice little malt shop. It opens up, got the counter, you know, you've got all like the food and stuff like that, a little jukebox maybe in the corner or something. I don't know, just something very like the malt shop. We need a malt shop because the gang spent a lot of time there, and that's just a fun, interesting, visually appealing location to me. So that would be my first wish list. Also, Deputy Dusty's sheriff's office. Okay? With like little Lego cactuses, a little Lego longhorn cow, little Lego tumbleweed. I don't know. A little Lego skull, like a cow skull, you know, because they're in the desert or they're in Texas. Same difference. I don't know. That I feel would be really, really cute. And I would love to see like more do's done in like little Lego style. Like a little Yabba and a little Scrappy, and of course a little Deputy Dusty. Dusty's little 3-wheeler. It would be cool because like the motorcycle was pretty cool. The motorcycle that came with the mansion set, or whichever one it came with, that was kind of neat. So there's no reason they couldn't do that. I think that would be maybe a very niche set, but very, very fun and underappreciated area of Scooby, I think. But again, very visually appealing. Zombie Island set. Mansion, cat creature lair, with like the little sunroof or whatever the heck was going on there with the little altar and everything. That just sounds kind of magical. And I would love to see those cat creatures in like Lego form. I feel like that would work really well somehow. I don't know why. A little Bo figure, Lena, Simone. Honestly, we wouldn't even need the Scooby gang. Like the Scooby gang could come like on its own or with a different set. I don't feel like the gang even needs to be included in this set. Just the characters from Zombie Island, I think would be really, really fun. Finally, my favorite. Is it technically a set? I don't know. You know how they build like a character out of Legos? Scrappy-Doo. A Scrappy-Doo made out of Lego. Nikki's Christmas present. Also my Christmas present, but one for Nikki too. But yeah, build your own Scrappy. Comes in 2 different poses. That put him up one, and then also like his sweet little like I will be getting both for Nikki. I will be getting both for myself. That needs to happen. That is my dream right there. Lego Scrappy. Yep.
One for me, please.
Yes, one for you, one for Jewel. Absolutely. Scrappy's all around. Maybe I'll get Nikki an extra one. One for every room of your house.
Oh my
every
gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought that the Zombie Island mansion would make a really great set, but my idea for inside of it would be to have each room be a different scene from like a Scooby-Doo show, like Scooby in the bathtub from A Night of Brave No Delight. Having the hallway with the doorways so that you could do the chase scene.
I'm surprised they didn't do that. Like just a little corridor of any kind. I feel like that would make total sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Having a huge kitchen with a buffet table and it's full of food. You know, just making each room specific to something related to a Scooby-Doo series, but the actual mansion is from Zombie Island.
Okay.
And I would want the whole gang to come with it, along with all of the zombies from Zombie Island and the cat creatures and all of it. I just want it all. Even little cats, little Lego cats.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Yeah. Devin, your dream set?
I don't know if these are necessarily dream sets, but they were the first ideas I had, at least. The first thing I thought of, which isn't even really a set at all, but I just thought it'd be an interesting way to do something with, like, Legos, would be kind of like a Mousetrap-esque set, where, like, the Mousetrap board game, and it's just, like, some of Fred's traps or something, and you, like, build the traps out of Legos, and, like, you can, like, knock it down or whatever. I don't know, something like that, where it's not, like, actually, like, a display piece, but more of, like, a game interactive thing might be kind of interesting. Because you could have, like, a little suit of armor and stuff like that. I feel like that'd be kind of fun. I also thought, I love the live action movies, you know me. I would, like, a little disco ball skull. You build that like hangs up, or even maybe it's like on a little display thing where it like sits up or whatever. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. Do they do shiny Legos? I guess they do. Probably you could do like silver Legos or something like that to make it look kind of. And then I was like, well, what about something from Scooby-Doo 2? So the first thing I thought was a Lego version of the limo mystery machine would be kind of fun, right? I feel like that I would set that out. You know what I mean? A limo mystery machine, that'd be pretty cool. But then the thing that I was most excited about, which I think also would make the most sense if Scooby-Doo was or if Lego was gonna do another Scooby-Doo thing, and it's not even a set, but it's the thing that I like most about Legos, which is the minifigures. And I was saying that the minifigure mystery sets got kind of boring over the years for me, and that's why I stopped collecting them, and they got a little expensive. But if they came out with a Scooby-Doo set where it was like, here's every character from Where Are You, or like every villain or whatever, right? And then you get one little tiny bag. It's a mystery. You don't know which one it's going to be. You get to collect all the villains. That'd be cool. You could do like the set comes out in winter, and it's like the gang and all their like winter gear, and maybe it comes with like the snow ghost and like the 10,000 volt ghost or something. You know what I mean? Like winter themed episodes. I feel like little like mystery, like the villains and stuff, I feel like are like different variations of the gang, like little like cheap mystery bags would be super fun, because like if it was like all the characters from Where Are You, like all the villains, I would not be upset with any of the ones I got. You know what I mean? Like, and you could do like every series is like you know what I mean? I think that'd be like a fun thing. And that's something that like I would collect, I would set on my shelf. You could get one, or you could aim for the whole set. If you do miss it, like if you don't find the one you want, you could try to buy it from some scalpers online, and hopefully it's not that expensive. And it wouldn't take up a lot of room, and it wouldn't really be that ugly. So that's kind of like my dream set.
Yeah. I was thinking Funland would make a really good Lego set.
Yeah.
And, have roller coaster, have some of the little game booths where you can actually like play the games. And
I would love that.
I think that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, that was my idea. I like the Legos personally. I think that I could build Legos all the time, and I would like better sets, better Scooby sets for sure. Final thoughts on the Scooby-Doo Legos, Wendy?
I mean, I hate to say it, but as with a lot of things that are Scooby related, it's like a wasted potential. I think the potential is there to do something amazing, and we just need like a little bit more thought. But I mean, I kind of feel that way about all Scooby merch in general at the moment, where everyone's like, they're getting lazy. They're banking on the name Scooby to sell the stuff, and it's like, yeah, that's valid, but like, why not like just take it a little bit further and give us something cool, so that we're not just buying it because it's Scooby, but we're buying it because it's really awesome and we want to have it, and it, makes us happy and stuff like that. So yeah, I would just encourage, if there's ever new sets, like just use your imagination. I mean, that's at its heart, that's what Scooby is. It's one of the things that Scooby is about. You're a little kid, you're watching it, they're solving a mystery, there's this beautiful artwork. beautiful backgrounds, visually just like a delight, and it just is like your imagination is going and going and going and going. At least that's how watching Scooby always was for me as a kid, and even now, because like the visual of it stays with you even when you're done watching it, and that's your imagination at work, and that's what this stuff should be about. So like, use your imagination with the sets. Do something a little out of the ordinary. Do something that's unique. Do something that's fun. Not just your run-of-the-mill, you know, like how many Scooby mugs are just like the same image of Scooby's face over and over and over on like the ugliest mug you can imagine. Nobody needs 75 million mugs. Unless you collect mugs. But you don't need 75 million of like the same Scooby mug, only it's like this much different, right? Like his eyebrows like a little bit higher in one than the other. Like, stop it. Like, we don't need that, you know? There was a time where I feel like Scooby stuff was very imaginative. A lot of that stuff is like bootleg too. Bootleg 70s Scooby was unhinged. All right, Scooby's like on a parachute. He's got a parachute. Scooby's on a kazoo. There's all kinds of like, just like use your imagination. There are so many cool sets that could be made for Lego and people would eat it up. As long as you make it semi-reasonable for us to buy it. Because remember, volume is key. Selling more units at a lower price will net you a better profit. And it will make everyone a lot happier. And again, collecting is an investment in your happiness, not your pocketbook. So I would be very happy to see more Lego sets, but like, you got to kick it up a notch. Like, remember, you did a good job with the plane. Build on that. Forget about all the other ones that you guys did. They're iffy, but that one, that was a home run. Build on that now. You can do it. It is possible, you know, and all of us are always here to consult. It's okay. You can do it. More Lego sets, but just like do it better.
The Mystery Machine set was really good too.
Okay.
Yeah. Devin, your thoughts, final thoughts on the Scooby-Doo Legos?
Something Wendy said there, I don't even remember what it was now. You said something about the backgrounds, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but it gave me the thought that another interesting set might be, like, I've seen them do, like, where it's like a picture frame, and then it's like Starry Night or something like that, right? Like Scooby-Doo background art or something, where it's like kind of mosaic stipple type of artwork, where you just like do the little like pieces, and then it's like a thing you could like hang on the wall or something. Like, not everything has to be like an ugly little like mummy thing that you set out. Like, stuff can be like artwork too, or like the flowers, for example, you know, stuff like that. Like, you could build a Scooby-Doo Scooby snack box or something, and build the little Scooby snacks or something. I don't know.
That would be really cool, yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, come on, Lego, contact us. We just came up with like 100 ideas that are better than what you guys put out 10 years ago. Get with it. And final thoughts. If anyone out there wants to get me a late birthday or early Christmas present, that little cigarette box with Fred's face on it, I will take one of those.
Joel, your final thoughts on the Scooby-Doo Lego sets?
I got two final thoughts. First one, Devin got out of like the Lego minifigs because they're getting boring. I got out of them because I would go to the store to buy them, and they were getting pricier. Another reason why Devin got out. But I was upset with all the like middle-aged men in jorts and a tank top who were sweating profusely, who were feeling the bags. It just disgusted me that. And then I'd pick up a bag and be all crinkled, and I'm like, because they're feeling to see what character was, but it just disgusted me. So what I did instead is I just started buying the knockoffs off AliExpress. They were like $1 each, free shipping. I buy one like every day, and then I get a little surprise in my mailbox. And the quality actually was pretty good for a lot of them, but some of them, the hands weren't put in, but they ship them with the hand. You have to try and press the hand into the thing. And sometimes you couldn't get the hand in. Like it'd really hurt your thumb to try and get it in there. But most of the figures are pretty good. And now I have all these figures all over my house. I did it for a while, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm spending all this money on minifigs, even though they're $1 a day. Second thought, this Lego Dimension game, super awesome. So you don't know what it is, and it's getting harder and harder to play this because Sony just explained they're not releasing games with physical discs anymore. Their next sets won't have discs, so you won't be able to play this game probably. Because you need the disc to play it. But you get the base set. Came with Batman. I forget her name, whatever her name was. Came with the wizard from Lord of the Rings as well, and the Batmobile. And then you buy these sets too, and you could put like the Scooby Gang into the game. But you'd also get like a Scooby-Doo world, which was like kind of a haunted house theme park kind of set. You could have Scooby-Doo running around that world, but you could have Batman running around that world. And it's all voiced by the actors who were voicing those characters at the time. They had a bunch of sets. So you had E.T., you could have E.T. talk to Scooby. I'm going to go through all of them because I want Nikki to go, oh, the longest panel was this now. Gremlins, so you had Stripe and Gizmo. So you have Scooby talking to Stripe and Gizmo. And it was voiced by, I think Frank Walker did some of the voices. Maybe Hal Mandel did some of the voices. I don't know. Beetlejuice. You had Beetlejuice interacting with Scooby. That's really cool. And you had Scooby in the Beetlejuice world, in the Beetlejuice level, which is highly detailed. Or you could put Beetlejuice in the Scooby world. Same with the Gremlins world. It's just nuts. It's nuts. Powerpuffs. I bought a knockoff of the original, but I bought the knockoff of the other girl. You can buy like the NFC puck on that site I was talking about before, and then I bought the knockoff, put her on, because I didn't want to spend another. These were like $14. I didn't want to spend another $14 for just one minifig. Not that you need to know that. You wouldn't even know looking at my shelf. That was a knockoff. Knight Rider, Scooby-Doo and Knight Rider.
What?
And you can have Scooby-Doo talk to Kit. It's freaking cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Sloth from Goonies. And you get
Sure.
the pirate ship and the organ.
Okay, I do want the sloth figure actually.
Yeah, and you have Scooby in the Goonies movie now. It's cool.
That's
I'm not
cool.
even gonna
I've
show
always
them all.
wondered what Lego Dimensions actually was because I really didn't know at all, and now you're explaining it, and I'm very happy about that.
It's really cool. But you're kind of locked in to pay to play. So hopefully one day they release it, everything unlocked for everyone. You don't need a disc. You don't need the figures because you have all these figures around. Like there's 154 figures and vehicles. It's a lot to keep track of, and it's a lot to like find the figure. Where is he? So it'd be cool. This is a new Teen Titans DC thing. Robin and all that. Adventure Time, Devin. You got
Nice.
Scooby in Adventure Time world.
Nice.
Yeah. And there's
Nice.
another set with the dog. I forget the dog's name, but
Jake.
you can have Scooby hanging out in the cartoon version of Adventure Time and vice versa. And there's also Lord of the Rings. I'm not going to show that. Harry Potter. There was Ghostbusters, the female version. There was Fantastic Beasts. There was Mr. A-Team. There's an A-Team version. You can have Mr. T talking to Scooby.
Awesome.
What's this one? This one is Portal 2. That's a cool video game. Cake Day, if you know what Cake Day is, that's from that game.
Does Scooby say "I ready the rule" or no to Mr. T?
Might.
Okay.
I haven't played it for like 10 years. It probably does.
Okay.
Ghostbusters, Peter Venkman version. There's also
Nice.
a Slimer version.
Dan Aykroyd. Nice.
No Dan Aykroyd, unfortunately.
What the heck?
I know.
I'm mad.
Doctor Who.
Oh.
Oh, and it's spooky because it has like the Stone Angel episode where your
Oh.
screen goes black when you turn away from the character. So you have to go through these hallways
Wow.
without turning around too often, or else the Stone Angel will get you.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. There's another Doctor Who set too. I think with the
How
Stone
many
Angel.
do
I got them all. So this is Back to the Future. There's also I'm only
Nice.
showing you like the single versions. Like I'm not showing you the other character. I have the Doc version as well. I won't show you that. I'm just showing you the franchises. And there's Ninja Co. and there's some mutant thing too. This is just an arcade thing, I think. Yeah, Midway. So they have it so you can go to an arcade and play like the classic arcade games in Lego Dimensions. So you can play all these Spy Hunter, Gauntlet. It's the full games too. Like there's like 20 different games you can play in this arcade that are like the legit versions in the arcade back in the 80s. It's kind of cool. And then last one that I have here, I have more, but I couldn't find them all. Sonic the Hedgehog. So you have Scooby and Sonic. You have
Nice.
Scooby in Sonic World getting the rings too and running fast. It's crazy.
That's
They
pretty
did
cool.
a really good job with this stuff. So I highly recommend it. No one bought it, I guess. Well, they had 3 waves, but then it just died out. They're gonna have like 6 waves. They had all these announcements, but they canceled everything last minute, and it sucked for me because I was fully invested in forking over all my money, and I haven't played in 10 years, but I want to play it again soon. The end.
Yeah, I think you kind of froze. Can you repeat all of that? Actually, I didn't hear anything you said at all.
I could.
Yeah, please.
I'll do a separate video.
Okay. Also, by the way, if anyone wanted to know, since we're just keep going, this is signed by Jeremy Shada. This is backwards. That plays Finn, and John DiMaggio that plays Jake. Just in case anyone wanted to know. Nikki, how long we been going for?
We are about 2 hours, which I'm actually surprised that we were able to talk about the Lego sets for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, speaking of fat, sweaty guys in the Lego aisle, as Joel brought up, I don't know if it's still on there. I'm assuming it is, but I know that back in the day, I never did this personally. I like to win fair and square, but the little Lego minifigure sets had little, you didn't have to feel the bags to feel what the characters felt like. There's a little tip if you don't know, but if you like Lego, you probably already know about this. But if you're just here for Scooby-Doo, you probably don't know about this. The little bags had these thing called bump codes. I believe that's what they were called. It's been a while. I think they're called bump codes, and they're basically just like little tiny like raised dots on the back of the bags. And each character had a specific, it was almost like Morse code type of thing, where like each character had a specific like way the dots were laid out. So you could kind of just like look at the dots and then figure out what the character was. I'm assuming it was like a production thing for like the factory, but people figured out that it was like, oh, you can figure out which character this is to kind of cheat the system. So you don't have to buy the same thing 100 times hoping you'll get something. So just so you know, if you are looking for something specific, if they still have it, bump codes, check it out.
All right.
I did hear they got rid of those later on though, because people were.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
I think around like Series 9, like it was
Okay.
about 4 or 5 after the Halloween ones we liked so much.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was gonna go, oh, they got the bump codes. They're gonna figure this out. I'm gonna decipher it, so I don't have to hang around too much with these sweaty people. And they're like, oh no, we got rid of it for the series. I'm like, damn.
Dang it, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're not giving you any tidbits to figure out which character is which, but
No.
Sorry.
it was fun talking about the Lego sets, and somehow we managed to do that for 2 hours. And yeah, we're gonna wrap things up. Before we do, let everyone know where they can find you on social media. Wendy?
On Instagram, I'm at Wendy Bridge, Twitter X, Wendy Loves Jesus, and my blog is wendylovesjesus.wordpress.com.
Devin?
You can you can find me gluing Shaggy to hats.
Joel?
You can find me on YouTube. Just type in Planet Scooby.
And you can find all my links on ScoobyAddicts.com. Let us know your thoughts on the Scooby-Doo Lego sets. Let us know your thoughts on what Lego sets you think they should make. And thank you for joining us for another Scooby panel.
Let go. Let's go, guys. Gang.
Let's let go of Fred's
Let's
ponytail.
go.
I don't need
Let
that.
go. That's sweaty guys in the Lego aisle.
Thank you for tuning in to another Scooby panel. I'm Nikki Blake from ScoobyAddicts.com. If you like these panels, please subscribe to my channel for more great discussions. A huge shout out to our patrons, Julie Rosen, Ross from ScoobyFan.net, Tagus, Garrett Spencer, Paul the Scooby Dude, and Jesse. If you would like to support the Scooby panel, please go to patreon.com/ScoobyAddicts. A very special thank you to artist, blogger, and Scooby collector Wendy Bridge, Joel from Planet Scooby, and miniature artist Devin Smith. Scooby Panel is available in podcast form on most podcast platforms or as a web series on YouTube. You can find Scooby Panel on Instagram, Facebook, and X as @ScoobyPanel. We are part of the Collector's Maze Network, where you can find all things geek. Scooby and Shaggy were voiced by Scott Innes. Check out Scott's website, onescottshop.com. Scooby Addicts artwork by Will Davenport. Scooby Panel logo by Garrett Spencer. Video editing by Nikki Blake. Please join us next time for another Scooby Panel.